Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Well, in our top story, one of the biggest holiday celebrations in St. Thomas is underway, the Miracle on Main Street. Organizers have been prepping for this big event for weeks. Attractions include local bands, entertainment, and of course, plenty of shopping. Here's more. For many, it signifies the start of the Christmas holiday season in St. Thomas. For others, it means the start of better business ahead with the advent of more tourists to our shores.
I have actually been looking for little gifts for a lot of different friends and family. In addition to that, I have some of my own items that I sell.
A surge of shoppers flooded the St. Thomas shopping district, where most of the stores offered a variety of discounts, mostly on jewelry, electronics, watches, and fragrances.
Every year it gets bigger and bigger. I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to be fantastic. And we all know we have the different music in different locations. Between Main Street and on the waterfront. So it's going to be a big night. It's going to be great. It's going to be spectacular. And I'm inviting everybody to come out.
Main Street was closed off from all vehicular traffic starting mid-afternoon. Local bands featuring different instruments as well as popular disc jockeys, they set up in the area to serenade shoppers.
I mean, this is my favorite time of year. It's nice to see people being really nice, like sharing not just that Christmas cheer and Christmas spirit, but like what it really means to be a part of our community and just, like looking out for each other. So it's really nice to see people coming out and supporting each other and, like just enjoying each other's company.
It's a great time for everyone to come together and enjoy. Yeah, I'm excited about it tonight. Last year was wonderful. I'm sure that this year is going to be great too.
And this is a once an annual event, and everybody, local and tourists alike, get an opportunity to come out and experience some of this wonderful art.
This is what Christmas in the Virgin Islands is all about to me. I really love it. Yeah.
Now, all the events go on until 10 p.m. tonight. You still have some time to head down there. The governor's Christmas party, that's going on at Emancipation Garden until 7:30. Then at 7:30, music by Top Notch Band. Also at the Post Office Square, there's the Rising Stars entertaining. At the Grand Hotel Square, it's the Sebastian Majorettes. In the Palm Passage parking lot, it's at 8 p.m. It's Spectrum Band in front of Rolex, and you can find the E. Benjamin Oliver Steel Owls. At the Waterfront's Hibiscus Alley, Current Terrace and West Stars perform. On Main Street, Mr. Ladie, Alamala Fanatics, Milos King, BCB Burning Blazers, and Encore Band. Roaming around will be Pan Emotion. All the stores again remain open. It's presented by the St. Thomas St. John Chamber of Commerce in partnership with VI Department of Tourism. And don't miss the boat parade. That's also going on the waterfront. Now, the board of directors of the St. Thomas St. John Chamber of Commerce, they have expressed their shock and deep sadness when told of the death of the baby girl from the drive-by shooting. Chamber of Commerce Board President Sebastiano Paiwanski Casanelli stated, "We are heartbroken at this news and offer our sincere condolences to the families of the two victims, especially the mother and family of the small child. This unthinkable tragedy is another scar on the reputation of the Virgin Islands. The Board of Directors of the St. Thomas St. John Chamber of Commerce demands action by elected and appointed officials to put an end to the senseless violence that threatens our residents and visitors," he said. Meanwhile, no update on the shocking shooting of the 18-month-old girl. The child was a passenger in a car that was targeted by gunmen in the area of Content Knolls just before 10 p.m. The car's driver was also wounded in the attack on St. Thomas. Now, as the community continues to mourn this week's murder of the young child, Governor Mapp today announced an increase in the reward by an anonymous donor. On December 15th, following the homicide of the young victim, Governor Mapp authorized a reward of $10,000, as we reported, for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for the tragedy. Now, in response, that anonymous donor has contributed an additional $5,000 to the reward, bringing the total to $15,000. They say our community is anchored by this loss and grieving with the family, Governor Mapp stated. Now, on behalf of the territory, the governor thanked the donor for their generosity and willingness to help. He says our law enforcement community is engaged in solving this crime. Governor Mapp reminded anyone with information on Wednesday night's shooting to contact the VIPD Homicide Task Force at 340-774-2211, Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-8477, or to call 911. Well, here's another quick update. Police say a missing minor has been found. This report came from the VIPD. Christopher David Jr., age 17, we reported, ran away from the custody of Human Services on Wednesday, December 14th. Police now say thank you to everyone for their efforts. Well, following a United States government report that the Virgin Islands economy showed growth in 2015 after a 4-year decline, Governor Mapp says he continues to be cautiously optimistic about the continued growth of the local economy. The U.S. Department of Commerce Bureau of Economic Analysis reported this week that the territory's gross domestic product, the GDP, increased 0.2% in 2015 after a decrease of 1% in 2014. The GDP is the value of goods and services produced by the Virgin Islands economy less the value of goods and services used up in production. The Commerce Department report noted increases in visitor spending, reflecting more arrivals and hotel revenues, while increases in consumer spending reflected increases in compensation and lower energy costs. Members of the Committee on Rules and Judiciary, chaired by Senator Kenneth Gittens, they held a meeting at the Capitol building on Thursday to convene in a meeting and voted to approve several measures, except for Bill number 31-0338, and that's to increase the monthly emergency services surcharge by increasing the charge from $1 to $2. The breakdown of funds was discussed in the Committee of Jurisdiction. The monies will be used to improve the equipment, supplies, and other means. Well, ultimately, lawmakers voted down Bill number 31-0338, and the measure failed. Well, the back and forth between Donald Trump and the White House over Russia's alleged meddling in the U.S. election is turning national security into a political football. Sarah Murray reports.
A week of Russia revelations and Donald Trump's denials, creating a rift between incoming and outgoing administrations.
This foolish guy, Josh Earnest.
The president-elect taking shots at President Obama's press secretary.
He is so bad. The way he delivers a message. He can deliver a positive message, and it sounds bad. He could say, ladies and gentlemen, today we have totally defeated ISIS, and it wouldn't sound good.
Lashing out after the White House sharply criticized Trump's continued dismissal of intelligence about Moscow's election meddling.
Mr. Trump obviously knew that Russia was engaged in malicious cyber activity that was helping him and hurting Secretary Clinton's campaign.
The president's very positive, but he's not positive. And I mean, maybe he's getting his orders from somebody else.
Russia putting a strain on the roller coaster relationship between Trump and Obama. The two attempting a show of unity for a smooth transition after a bitter campaign. Now tensions rising between the camps, fueled in part by Trump's tweet accusing the White House of only complaining about the hacking after Hillary Clinton lost. But in fact, in early October, the intelligence community was saying they were, quote, confident Russia was behind the DNC hacks. Clinton herself addressing the hacking for the first time since the election, telling donors that Russian President Vladimir Putin's grudge against her prompted the attack against the DNC. This as Clinton's former campaign chair, John Podesta, penned a scathing rebuke of the FBI's handling of the hacks. Writing in the Washington Post, when the FBI discovered the Russian attack in September 2015, it failed to send even a single agent to warn senior Democratic National Committee officials, adding, something is deeply broken at the Bureau. Podesta's criticism echoed by outgoing Senate Minority Leader Harry Reid.
I think that it's about time that Comey acknowledged publicly what a disservice he's rendered to our country by doing nothing except interfering with the election. He became such a partisan that he should become the new chair of the RNC.
Keeping our eye on the economy, Wells Fargo's fake account scandal has done a number on the bank's reputation. Wells Fargo says they are not getting nearly as many new customers as they were last year. In November, new customer checking account openings were down 41% compared to last year, falling 9% from October. Wells Fargo says customer interactions were also down 14% year over year. The bank's reputation took a huge hit after their scandal involving illegal sales activity. Wells Fargo agreed to an $185 million settlement with regulators in September. Here's a look at the stock market watch at the New York Stock Exchange. According to the numbers there, everything down. The Dow down 8, NASDAQ 19, S&P 500 also down 3. Coming up on News 2, we have our Tis the Season, our holiday calendar. That and much more coming up. Welcome back. Governor Kenneth Mapp acted on the bills relating to the establishment of racinos in the Virgin Islands and amending the title of the Virgin Islands Code relating to the zoning of racinos in the VI. This measure is referred to as the Virgin Islands Horse Racing Industry Assistance Act of 2016. Governor Mapp pointed to the changes made by the Senate during its deliberations. Removed from the measure was sections 216 to 223, which banned illegal doping of horses and authorized mandatory random testing to ensure that prohibited drugs and substances are not used in horse racing at Virgin Islands facilities. In addition, the responsibility for such testing and the final say in whether a particular horse is fit to participate in racing is done by a licensed veterinarian. Of course, a major concern to the change to this casino fees from 19 to 25%. These fees would be paid into a separate and distinct special fund called the Horse Racetrack Casino Revenue Fund. Governor Kenneth Mapp, meanwhile, has been updated on the progress toward upgrades and renovations at the Clinton E. Phipps and Randall Doc James racetracks on St. Thomas and St. Croix, respectively. The government of the VI and the Virgin Islands Gaming Limited have entered into an agreement allowing VIGL to operate the horse racing facilities for 20 years. The arrangement commits VIGL to developing the tracks to meet the standards of the horse racing industry nationwide, which will include resurfacing the racing surface, repairs, construction of amenity buildings for veterinary services, accommodations for the public, and appropriate barns for the horses. The promoter is required to invest at least $27 million and provide at least $2 million per year in racing purses. VIGL will operate racinos to produce the revenues to support the improvements, track operations, and purse offerings. In keeping with the spirit of goodwill and tradition, the Department of Human Services hosted its 2016 Senior Citizens Christmas Service today. They invited the public to join them as they gave thanks in prayer, worship, and song.
Welcome to the Department of Human Services annual Christmas luncheon. We have the seniors from the St. Thomas and St. John Senior Centers here with us today as we celebrate Christmas and the spirit of loving and living in the community. I just wanted to welcome everyone and so that we can have a joyous holiday season and so that everyone could feel the spirit as we celebrate the holiday season.
The event has been wonderful. The senior citizens are having a wonderful time. Innovative is proud to be a sponsor of this event today with the Department of Human Services. We want to wish the staff, friends, and all a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year.
Virgin Islands Fire Service will be hosting its annual Christmas Children's Party. That's from 3 p.m. to 6 on Sunday, December 18th at the Fort Christian Fire Station. Children in attendance can enjoy bounce houses, face painting, majorette performances, music, and appearances by Santa Claus, Smokey the Bear, and Sparky the Dog. Free food and drinks will be available, and children ages 8 and younger will be given a free gift while supplies last. Well, WTJX will be presenting the Crucian Christmas 4-day serenade with Stanley and the 10 Sleepless Nights on the Big Island. The annual event draws many from east to west on December 23rd at 12 a.m. Starts at WTJX office. Anna's Hope, Ginger Thomas, Strawberry, Montbijou, Grove Place, Whim. There's a tram from Frederickstead Post Office to Meadrick Cummings Park. Then the East route, December 24th, 12 a.m., starting at WTJX office. Then they head to Golden Rock, Harborview Estate, St. John, Eliza's Retreat, tram from Times Square to WTJX office. The 9th annual Coquito Festival returns to Lorraine Chicken Shack on Saturday, beginning at 12 noon. Locals and visitors will crowd the grounds for a holiday party like no other. There will be over 20 competitors vying for the title of St. Croix's Best Coquito. There's live music beginning at 1 p.m. with Stanley and the 10 Sleepless Nights, followed by Digital Band, and from Puerto Rico, Anibal de Garcia and Butequelio. Santa will be there for the kids ages 3 to 12 with 150 gifts for boys and girls. It's a great way for the entire community to enjoy a day during the holiday season. Here's more.
Everybody here together, happy, all of us as one, and that's pretty much my favorite part, and my business partner, Angel Diaz, that's what we love to see the most. All of us coming out as one, you know, and enjoying a festive time in a great time of year, Christmas time.
Virgin Islands Police Department is alerting the public, reminding the public that all event permits must be submitted 1 month in advance prior to your event in order for the VIPD to accommodate the request. For more information, you could contact the Chief's office at 340-712-6005 or 340-778-2211, or Public Information Office, and that number is 712-6080. Senior executives from the Wyndham Vacation Ownership, they hosted the Unleash the Power of Your Hospitality Career panel presentation, and it took place for 65 students and guests of the University of the Virgin Islands Hospitality and Tourism Management Program at the Chase Auditorium on St. Thomas campus. The campus was international, with participants originally from Brazil, Romania, Morocco, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. mainland. Prior to the presentation, they awarded 2 $10,000 scholarships to UVI students Kanae Gums and Esther Walters, both first-time freshmen who started in the fall of 2016. Congrats to the students. Caribbean Drag Racing Association, they have an upcoming Christmas race at the St. Croix Motorsports Complex on December 26th. They will have everything from remote-controlled race cars, motorcycle and car racing from 2 to 10 p.m. There will be entertainment by Via Ambassador, Ninja P Sounds, and Selecta Culture. You can also expect bike races as well as car racing. Stick around, your News 2 AccuWeather forecast comes your way next.
Well, the wind was a lot calmer today. Hopefully you were able to enjoy your Friday. As we take a look at the big picture, we have high pressure in place, and that it will be allowing for those trade winds to pick up as we head into tomorrow, which could cause some issues if you plan on heading out on the waters, but not too much happening. There have been a couple of hit or miss showers, and we will keep those showers in the forecast as we head into tonight. So for tonight, it's partly cloudy overnight, 76 degrees the low temperature, with a few passing showers around, and we'll also keep those showers around as we head into your forecast for your Saturday. 86 in St. John, partly sunny, a couple of showers, not going to be a washout by any means, but just keep that in mind if you plan on being out and about on your Saturday. St. Thomas, 86 degrees, partly sunny, and we're also looking at some nice warm conditions in St. Croix, clouds and sunshine, and again could see a few passing showers. Now, heads up if you plan on heading out on the waters, we do have a small craft advisory for the Atlantic. The waves are between 5 and 7 feet, so a little bit higher than normal, and then we are seeing those trade winds out of the east at 15 to 20 knots. Same story here for the Caribbean as well. Small craft advisory. Use caution if you're out on the waters. The waves between 5 and 7 feet. So let's take a peek at the extended forecast. Again, we will see those winds picking up, and we'll also keep the chance of a shower in the forecast for each day. So Saturday, clouds and sunshine, a shower possible, a shower in places for Sunday as well, but we're not seeing too many changes with our temperatures here. As we get into Monday, also looking nice and bright with a few showers in places, 85 degrees on Monday. Also a few showers around on Tuesday as well, but again, temperatures not fluctuating too much. We're at 84 degrees on Tuesday with a shower in spots, and then seeing those shower chances starting to wrap up as we get into Wednesday. Just a brief passing shower possible. Back to you, Sandy.
Thanks for that. So it's not looking too bad. Thank you for that. Ayoma Russell sends in this NEWS2 weather picture there. It looks like Point Udall of Ricardo Richards Elementary School, and the weather's looking really good there. Ayoma, what we like to see going into the weekend. Have a great one. Send us your NEWS2 weather picture to the address right there on the screen. Be sure to include all the information we need, and then tune in to see it right here on NEWS2. Stick around. NEWS2 Sports comes your way next.
You may recognize this gentleman. I am here with the biggest Cowboy fan I have ever met, and certainly the biggest Cowboy fan here in St. Croix. Danny Manaragas-King. Danny, thanks for taking time out of your busy Cowboy-loving schedule. I just want to ask you a quick question about the state of the Cowboys. After winning 11 in a row, they lost one to the Giants. I'm sure that broke a lot of hearts. People are starting to think and panic. Oh, maybe it's time for Tony Romo. What's your opinion on that? I mean, you being as knowledgeable about the Cowboys as anybody I've ever met.
Well, Dak is our quarterback going forward. Romo is a fabulous quarterback. I mean, the stats speak for itself. He's awesome. Having him on the bench, a lot of teams in the NFL would like to have the problem we have, having a quarterback of his caliber on the bench. But, Dak is a rookie. He had a bad game, but he wasn't the only one that had a bad game. A lot of the people on the Cowboys would readily admit that we just had a bad game. And, during the course of a year, you're going to have a bad game. I would rather have a bad game now during the season than fall apart during the playoffs. So I think this is a great wake-up call for us. Ain't nobody panicking. We're good. We're still 11-2. We still got 3 more games to go. Dak's going to be moving forward. I think everybody can learn from his experience. I think it's a wake-up call for them. It's a good thing we lost. I know it sounds weird, but I'm glad we lost. It was an awful game all around. I think the Giants played horribly. The Cowboys played horribly. There was no scoring in the fourth quarter. Okay, I mean, it was a defensive game, but it was also a sloppy offensive game on both sides of the ball.
So then I take it your prediction, they've got a big game this weekend. They're going up against the Tampa Bay Bucks. They've won 5 in a row. What's your prediction for this game?
Well, I think it's going to be a tough game, obviously. The Bucks are picking it up. I mean, defensively, they're a monster, and they're coming along extremely well offensively. I think we're going to have to respond, and I think we're going to respond well at home. And Dak has to show that he's got command of this team and that he has not hit that infamous rookie wall that people speak of. I don't think so at all. I mean, his balls, he was throwing a little low on a lot of those throws last Sunday, but I think he'll get it together this weekend, and I'm predicting probably, I see the game probably 27-21.
Cowboys.
Oh, duh. All right, you heard it here first. Danny Manaragas-King, the biggest Cowboy fan in the Caribbean, if not the entire planet. Sorry about that, Jerry Jones.
Go Cowboys.
Have fun watching the games, everybody.
Thanks for that, guys. Well, that is all for this edition of NEWS2. We'd like to thank you for joining us for all the latest in news, weather, and sports. On behalf of all of us, have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next time.